Hi, Cancers, and welcome to your January 2020 General Intuitive Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you guys about some of the energy coming in for your sign in the month of January. Hi, Cancer. I feel your energy really, really strongly. I have got quite a few Cancers in my life that are super important to me, so I've had sort of a first-hand look into some of the things you're going through and some of the larger scale themes that are in play for your sign. And from what I'm understanding, as we get so much Capricorn energy coming in January and in late December, you guys are feeling this coming out of December, which is your opposite sign. You know, the Capricorn Cancer axis. Your opposite is Capricorn, so I know that a lot of things have come in and opposed you in your life. Probably coming out of late December, there's probably been a lot of things that feel inharmonious, a lot of things that feel conflicting, and perhaps even some confrontations, as I feel also really strongly that the holiday time did not suit you. And maybe for some of you it did. Again, I do not want to portray any kind of negativity if it's not there for you guys. But what I'm seeing here in January is having a lot to do with holiday difficulty, having a lot to do with expectations, societal expectations, families not really transitioning well into new era, relationships, long-term commitments not really transitioning with you into your next phase. And then it all kind of comes back to this sense of like solitude and this sense of being alone and just being alone, you know. I feel that Cancer has come into January with a new sense of solitude and a new sense of what it means to be disconnected from other people. And it's important to look at this and see if it's right or if it's not right for you. Power trips, okay, you guys, we've got Saturn, Pluto having a really strong conjunction in January. We have Jupiter having come in to Capricorn. We have all of the inner planets almost in Capricorn. Mars is changing sign into Sag. It came from Scorpio, and Mars in Scorpio can be kind of a anger, temperamental energy for Cancer sometimes, because Mars is debilitated in your sign of Cancer. So when it goes into Scorpio, which is one of its home signs, it creates a weird triangle to you. Anyway, I think that tension was on high. I feel like there was high octane. I feel like your nervous system is a little bit stressed out. I feel like anything that is a problem in your life, basically Cancer made itself really clear in December. So if you're a Cancer who had a pretty decent December, or if you made headway or got stronger or were able to save more time, money, energy, you've done something right. It means that you've really taken the time to clear things out. You're in a really good category, and January really just becomes about honing your power and continuing to let go of things that don't suit you. But again, if there are a lot of problems cropping up, Cancer, just accept it as that. Accept it. Okay, this is a problem. This person is a problem. This person is not able to live up to my needs or my standards or my expectations. Take that as just what it is and move along. I think that you guys have to really parse through other people's actions toward you and see if it's maybe different in execution than it is in your thought forms. So yeah, this is also a month in January that will really challenge your empathy, okay? Being able to step into the shoes of other people being able to step into your shoes, that is challenged here. And it's challenged for a reason, Cancer. It's not just to make you upset. It's not just to make you feel isolated or to make you feel unloved or whatever. It's to really show clearly that there are some holes. There are some holes in the current system. If people are not living up to you, or you feel like people don't understand what you're going through, or if you're struggling to relate to other people, it's because that's not meant to happen right now. It's not about other people. It's not about other people coming in and saving the day. It's not about you distracting yourself with other people. It's about fixing some of the broken pieces, because one of the most incredible things about a Saturn-Pluto conjunction in your opposite sign is, oh my gosh, does it show you where things are weak? Does it show you where foundations are not sturdy? And not only does it show you, especially when you have all of this inner planet stuff come in Capricorn, it breaks it immediately. Okay, things that are not strong, bonds that are not well executed, foundations that are weak, don't just get challenged in a month like this they break and they flatten out. Okay, they cease to exist afterwards. Okay, this type of energy is not something to play with. And so also, and I'm not so much talking about you guys individually, because there are going to be cancers on all sides of this, but I just want to say it's not something to play with. If things are feeling like manipulated, if you're feeling like gaslit or manipulated, or like you're dealing with a narcissist, or like you don't really have much energy, or your health is suffering, it's not something to play with. Okay, here kind of is where a Cancer could go through a really tough breakup and think, oh my gosh, maybe if I were really ill, this person would come back to me and help me or save me. Or this is also where maybe Cancer has come into a lot of money, and Cancer says, okay, maybe if I buy her that diamond ring, or if I buy her that new car, she'll love me again. Okay, it's kind of going to big measures, or really risking your own fidelity and your own security to maybe see if people will kind of bite on. So there's like a distraction. Okay, there's like there's sort of like a need to distract oneself, okay, with this energy. And with the Capricorn energy, sometimes we just want to look to society. We want to look to the audience. We want to be, and it really does spotlight you in that way, Cancer. Like, you might feel like you're on stage. Some of you might be performers, or you might be getting to a point in your career where you're really being bestowed, or you're bestowing, or you're giving, or you're presenting things to other people. Like, people are looking to you to show everybody else something. So you're kind of at the front of the pack. You're kind of the leader of the group in a way. Again, you're a cardinal sign. So what is needed here is progress, okay? It's maintaining a sense of progress that you've had for a long time. Sometimes when old stagnant relationships or old stagnant careers go on longer than they were supposed to, it does just really prevent that progress at the self level. You know, it's really easy to slide backward into old worn out habits. It's really easy to shrug things off, or really easy to accept certain things which are not good enough. So that's another thing that I'm feeling really strongly for you guys here, is discretion and discernment. What is good enough? What isn't good enough for you? Five of Pentacles coming up in your reading, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords, the Hanged Man. Interestingly, all of those archetypes deal with lack and deal with not having enough. Yet there is the Emperor, there is strength. There's no lack of strength. There's no lack of power for you guys. If anything, there's more than you've ever had. But yet there is this like experience of feeling a lot of lack, or feeling like you're not being given enough, or feeling like people aren't giving you what you give. Like, there's not equal give and take. So here we have a choice. There's a choice for Cancer. Like, am I going to step into my power? Am I going to see the truth? Am I going to look at what is real and what is here? And am I going to understand where other people are coming from? Are people going to understand where I'm coming from? Are people doing this? Am I doing this? There's a lot of simple, easy truth here, you guys. And, just to get a little bit less complicated, because I feel like I'm putting a puzzle together here when it's really not that complicated, just be honest this month with yourself. January of 2020, and to a lesser degree February and March for the late bloomers, is the utmost honest energy, okay? What you see is what you get here. It's Capricorn energy. It is not elusive. It is not fake. So if things are looking problematic in a relationship, if things are looking wrong, if things are looking downhill, it's very honest, okay? Try to not convince yourself otherwise. Some of the issue coming in here deals a lot with convincing ourselves otherwise, or sticking something out because we think it's safe, because that's also the issue, is you want to maybe play things safe or hold up a status quo of your life. But the thing is, guys, is that might be okay too. That's not, again, this isn't the problem. I feel that Cancer's mind gets a little caught up in details and sometimes fails to see the bigger picture in a situation like this. And I don't mean that in any way. Anybody would, guys. Like, if anyone were having Saturn-Pluto and all this energy in their opposite sign, it's just a condition of that angle. Like, small sort of like barbed wire energetically comes in, and it's like that's where the focus goes, but we can't really see the full length of the fence. You know what I mean? That's the closest analogy that I can think of. We're paying a lot of attention to like the barbed wire, but not seeing the full length of the fence. So it's going to be really imperative for Cancer to step back a little bit. Okay, so guys, take some time off in January if you could. Money's going to be fine for you guys. I truly feel that way. Work as little as you could. Distract yourself as little as you can and look around. Are you trying to distract yourself? Are you having to always like, drink or smoke or be in the presence of other people or be talking to your significant other or be, like having some kind of distraction, some kind of like doing something, like a complete active mind at all times. Watch out for that, because there's really a strong need for you guys here to deploy your power, the Emperor and Strength together. But then Seven of Pentacles comes in, and with all of this other more passive energy, there's like a need to then just reflect but not be empty-minded. So we're diving deep in this reading, guys. We haven't really even touched the week to week yet, and we've already gone in for quite a while here. But as I was saying, guys, and as I've been saying for the other signs this month, it's a simple month. It's a truthful month. It's an honest month. But sometimes there are hard truths with Saturn and Pluto. So the less that we can close our eyes and blindfold ourselves, Eight of Swords, blindfolding ourselves in like a maze of swords, the less we can do that, the better. And there's like great fidelity here as well. Like, you can see what love truly is. Like, actually, some of you can take a love relationship to an incredible place here in January, where you finally come out of the barbed wire and you've like made a beautiful fence instead. And it's not like barbed wire, it's like beautiful wood. Again, we're talking structure, we're talking building, we're talking, fencing out Saturn energy. Saturn's getting strong for you guys. It's finishing up in Capricorn. It's into its last few chapters in Capricorn. And that has big connotation for you guys. It's Saturn half return to your sun. So you're looking at the structures of your life and you're making them beautiful. So you don't need to be wearing a blindfold while you're doing that, and trusting that it's there. There is a sense of like, just being a little bit blind, Cancers, and I want to just point that out to you guys. It's not personal, it's not mean, but you guys have to really let yourself look and let yourself see, even if there are broken pieces, even if there are things that are not nice to look at. You've got to see it. And that can almost be comforting to know that, okay, this was the last straw, or okay, this was the last time that I stayed in that house, or okay, this was the last time that it's like, it is not a last time for everything, because in no way is it a beginning energy for you guys here. There's no new beginnings right this second, not completely new beginnings. But there's progress, there's maintained progress of making your life better, which can really help you to finish up or begin the finishing process to something that is wrong. Because again, sometimes we can't just quit our jobs immediately. We have to give notice. It is that type of energy. I will say it's almost like you do have to give notice in what you're doing, because I would not be a very great astrologer if I advised you to just, call it quits immediately, or to just not show up to work, or to just not... to just stop or block somebody immediately without it being warranted. That now's not the time. Like March of 2020 is a more supported time for that. But of course, some people do have to end things here, but it becomes a phase. It's like an ending phase. It's not so much a stark end with an immediate beginning. So I feel, I don't feel that I'm rambling, but I'm kind of off on a tangent here, because I really am trying to fill out this energy for you guys, because I mean, look at what you've got. And you might see from other astrologers on YouTube or other astrological content that for the cardinal signs, the month of January is huge. The month of January is changing up the game for y'all. And for Cancer, very fluid, ebbing, flowing moon, lunar, water energy. It's delicate. It's delicate and it's honest, but it's strong, and it's like this sense of unshattered delicacy that you guys have, unshattered fragility, where the Saturn and Pluto energy come together to create something beautiful and tough, but very delicate too. So you guys have to really look around your life and see where there's a lot of paradox. I feel that there is a lot of paradox around you guys right now, and there can be comfort in that too. This isn't to make you guys worry or to make you guys feel like, oh my God, there are things wrong. But there's a sense of comfort in knowing, like, yeah, there's maybe a change coming on, okay? And just sort of being able to have what you need. Because the other thing about having Saturn and Pluto together in your opposite sign is it's not truly about lack. It's not about experiencing poverty. It's not about experiencing, no love from other people. You guys will have all the necessary sustenance that you need at this point in time. I don't feel that Cancer is truly struggling with, insurmountable lack, But it's the little things, you know, it's the little things that really go big for you guys. And sometimes the big things go small. So there might be some truths to see about like bigger things here, and some acceptances about like smaller things. So, anyway, Cancers, as you guys might have seen from the other readings this month, I'm not going deeply into the week to week, but in that first week of January, Strength and Five of Pentacles, it's like, again, the strength to know your worth and the strength to know that things are a little bit cold, or to know that things are a little bit poor. You know, if you see the people in Five of Pentacles, they're like walking towards the Emperor energy. So maybe you're making some kind of like pilgrimage, or maybe you're making some kind of trip to see some entity of power. If you are doing that, it should go very well. But this could also be more proverbially like walking towards your own power, walking on a cold road towards your own sense of power. Can you warm it up a little bit? Does achieving your own sense of personal power look so one-toned? You might want to really work on allowing this process of achieving your own power to be nicer and to be better. And I do feel that it comes through empathy, and I feel that people will give it to you by you setting that as a standard. So your own sense of standardized empathy, how you empathize with others, it really is kind of the root of a lot of your experience right now. Again, whether it's your empathy or other people's empathy, I feel it to be the root of your experience. And in that second week, you guys have the Seven of Pentacles rooted down by the Emperor. You guys are actually getting super successful. So Saturn and Pluto are coming together in that week. Actually, it's more towards the third week, but in that time. And for some of you, it comes with gigantic success, okay? I mean, that's sort of like a stock market, like explosion. Like maybe some of you make a huge amount of money in like stock market, or some of you get a huge promotion, or some of you get a huge payout, or finally sell something, or, you know, it could be anything like that. But mainly what it comes down to is receiving, okay? Receiving a big return. That could also look like somebody really putting themselves out on the line for you, or someone really giving something back to you, or really empowering you through honest and kind action. So there might even be like a new relationship for some of you there, if you were single, or if it were appropriate. And that's the key word for you guys. What's appropriate? The Saturn energy does not play when it comes together with Pluto. So really do beware for anything that's below board, or anything that is occult or hidden or or like cunning and tactful, or for like a bad agenda or something. That would not go very well during that time. Week number 3, you guys have Eight of Swords rooted down by King of Cups. And I think that you guys have to, again, this can be separations, this can be like breakups, this can be finally realizing that you just can't go on in the same way. So again, it might not be a sudden split, but there's a phase that starts where you're disconnecting, and you guys have to look at things again. That's such an honest time for you guys. Don't cover your eyes to the truth. Don't cover your eyes to the inevitability, all right? Because there's an inevitable call that comes for you guys here, and it's really like having a conversation with the universe. It's really a truthful conversation with the universe, you guys, this month. So again, we don't want to be covering our ears or covering our eyes to what we are hearing that is so divine, because you guys are divinely connected this month, and you guys have a lot of power. And this is the nature of power in this paradigm, is it does erode, okay? So yeah, you might have a lot of authority, you might have a lot of ability to even like get back at people, or like make other people like struggle. Not that you guys would do that, I'm just saying like there's a sense of power, and you guys are having a very clear dialogue with the universe about what that entails and how you guys can channel. It's almost like Cancer really represents like turning power into something more beautiful, or more healthy, or less domineering, less mean, or less problematic. So you guys are maybe really making a higher decision or a higher judgment call about how you can make your own life better. So third week of January spells that out really clearly for you guys. It shows you a path out, like if there's something you need to get out of, a headspace, even a relationship, a job, whatever it is that you guys are not feeling comfy in, you can really have a nice sort of just easy path away or out of that. Week number 4, you guys have the Hanged Man rooted down by Knight of Wands. So it's going to really be about unstagnating yourself starting in the 4th week of January. There is time in like February and the beginning of March to cry things out or to finish things up, to finally let go, to cleanse and purge it all out. And you guys might really start that, and you might actually see that that comes about not in like doom and gloom, not in like an Eeyore like black cloud scenario, like, oh, I'm just going to cry and be like very just insatiable or despondent. You could see that the best cleansing actually happens with laughter and with humor. You know, Knight of Wands, adventure, travel, but especially laughter. Laughter is going to be really important for you guys in the month of January. And of course, there are just serious things that you have to deal with here and there, but try to watch comedy or try to be around people who are funny. If everybody in your life is solemn and gloomy, there's a change that needs to happen. Cancer is not a sign that is actually meant to deal with doom and gloom in a conscious and like activated way. What do I mean by that? Cancer is a sign that deals with a lot of doom and gloom because you're on that Capricorn axis, but it's not something that you ever seek out or not something that you have to ever engage, is what I mean. It just comes and you deal with it and then you move on. Cancer is more so meant to engage humor and to engage more lighthearted things and deal with those heavier things just when they crop up, and then as easily as they come in, they go out. That's how Cancer deals with stress. And I feel that all the Capricorn energy is making you guys go into it a little bit more like a Capricorn, where you're identifying all the problem areas in an earth sign way. You're seeing what's wrong, you're engaging it, you're trying to fix it, and it's not really how Cancer needs to operate in this paradigm, at least. Again, you guys are a cardinal sign, so there's that want to like engage things and to progress forward. But I think that you guys need to engage more humor here and also engage in letting go of anything that is like toxic or like abusive feeling, for sure. As your central theme, Cancers, you have the 5 of Swords, and that's okay. You know, it's just, again, it's honest. It's honest. You know, if there's a sense that you're being like taken advantage of or people are not out for your best interest, let that be the truth, okay? Try to not convince yourself otherwise, okay, if you know that something's honest. Also, watch out for villainizing other people too. You just have to be really honest with yourself this month, Cancer, because you know in your heart how things are, and try to not let your brain or the words of other people manipulate that too much. Listening to your heart, understanding the ultimate truth. And it's almost like your heart levels up this month and comes into like a level of truth that is even higher. And it's just so undebatable. And you just kind of know so clearly how you need to move forward. And yeah, there can even be amends. Relationships can be fixed. You can see the truth and you can talk through it. And people can overcome things with great fortitude here. But then also some people aren't so willing. So there has to be like a moving on period, if that's the case. But anyway, Cancers, I so hope that you guys got something from this reading. I hope that it didn't seem too doom and gloom, because it's really not. But you guys have a lot to deal with in January, because again, January is not a new energy. This is not the new year. We are in the ending phase. The new year comes in March. So try to not get too wrapped up in New Year's resolutions or too wrapped up. I mean, it's great to try new things at any time, really. But try to not get too wrapped up in relying on this time just being beautiful and sunny, and because it's not so much. It's a time of finishing things up. So try to move more towards March. Like, how can you have that fun new beginning and feel really good by like March 21st-ish, and you will feel a lot better. And again, if this reading didn't resonate for you, feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising sign, or any other signs in your chart, and you might find some other messages over there. And I'm so happy to have you guys here. Cancers are some of my favorite people in the world. I have a lot of Cancers in my own personal life who I just like care the world for, and I've seen them struggling a little bit. So I just wanted to really come on and try to dive into it, and hopefully it felt healing to you guys. Let me know below in the comments. If you get a chance, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you wanted to order a natal chart written report that I do, you can check out my website. And if you wanted to book a private reading, there should be some available for maybe still in January, but for sure in February. All of that will be in the show more section of this video. You can just like click on the title section and it usually pops up. So I'll be talking to you guys soon. Much love, Cancers. Keep it going. We'll talk soon. Bye.